What is up guys, Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny 2. Now in today's video we're taking a look at a huge preview for Season 14. We've got a couple of weeks left of Season 13 as well as Guardian Games, but today we're going to take a look at next season and some of the exciting things waiting around the corner. So if you want to find out more, be sure to stick around and enjoy the video. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a rating down below, that super helps me out here on the channel. Or if you're new here and you want to keep up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 content, then be sure to hit subscribe as well. But without further delay guys, let's jump into the video. Now with the Season of the Chosen in full swing and Guardian Games a few weeks away, kicking off on the 20th of April, now is a good time to look even further ahead at Season 14. The current season ends on May the 11th with the introduction of Season of the Redacted. Now Season 14 is lining up to be one of the biggest seasons we've ever seen in Destiny 2, with a lot of systematic changes as well as the return of some incredible nostalgic content. Now with the launch of Season 14, Bungie will be introducing changes to the leveling system inside Destiny 2. Currently season on season, the power level normally increases by 50 power levels each season. However, starting in Season 14, they'll only be raising the power cap by 10 for each non-expansion related season. So that means if you reach the max power in Season 13, when the next season rolls around, you'll be directly in the 10-point pinnacle band for the power pursuit for that season. Now this change to the power system should feel familiar for a lot of players who played Season of Dawn last year, and Bungie are excited to see how this progression feels alongside some of their other new systems. Now one of those new systems was introduced this season, and that was the introduction of seasonal challenges. These were the replacement for weekly bounties and offer week-on-week challenges for us to complete, which offer large chunks of XP. Alongside XP for your season pass, they also offer reputation for seasonal specific activities, so fully expect a full new range of seasonal challenges when we step into Season 14. Now one of the biggest changes this season was the introduction of sunsetting on weapons and armor. Now since that announcement earlier this year, with the introduction of Season 14, Bungie will be removing gear from all sunsetting. So they've made a decision that any weapon or armor that can currently be infused to the max power will continue to be able to reach that max power permanently. So starting in Season 14, they won't be capping the infusion of any weapons or armor that has not already reached a cap as of the start of Season 13. So this means that you'll be able to take your Trustee, Fallen Guillotine and all high stat armor that you've earned this year and take on the raid in the Witch Queen, launching in early 2022. Now sunsetting was one of the most controversial changes added this season, so let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Are you happy that Bungie reversed their decision on sunsetting? Now one of the most exciting pieces of content coming in Season 14 is the return of the Vault of Glass raid. So in Season 14 the Vault of Glass will return, and while the high level experience will remain mostly the same, you can fully expect Bungie's raid team to have a few tricks up their sleeves when we go on to tackle the depths of Venus later this summer. Now when the Vault of Glass does launch, it will launch with a contest mode in the first 24 hours, and there will be a world first raid race. Now as this is a reprise raid, the world's first raid will be a little bit different, so in order to claim the belt you won't only need to complete the raid but also a curated list of challenging triumphs. Now before the end of the year, Bungie are also looking to add new master versions of the Vault of Glass, and this aligns with their future aspirations for raid and dungeon content and offering master difficulty versions of these activities, and these will provide adept raid weapons and dungeon gear that we can only earn from the master versions of these activities. Now whilst Bungie haven't been able to fully commit to a Season 14 timeframe for the master version of the Vault of Glass, you can fully expect this to either launch later in Season 14 or even early in Season 15. But as soon as we have more details on that adept raid loot, be sure to stay stuck to the channel and I'll keep you up to date. Now as well as the reintroduction of the Vault of Glass, we'll also see the addition of Transmog being added to the game. So in Season 14, Ada 1 will be returning to the tower, and with her comes the ability for players to take any armor that they've had in their collections and turn that into a universal ornament. Now in Destiny 2, this process will be called Armor Synthesis. Now every season, Ada will offer players a set of bounties that highlight various activity types, and players will need to complete these quests and receive materials they'll need in order to power up Ada's loom. Now with this loom you can turn any piece of armor in your collection into a permanent universal ornament, and any players at a shorter time will be able to purchase these synthesis tokens for silver. Now alongside the Transmog system there will be a new appearance screen in the character menu, and here you can manage your ornaments on any gear all in one place, and you'll also find the ability to apply shaders here individually or apply it to all pieces of equipped armor with a single click. Now these changes altogether make it much easier to try out a bunch of new looks, and in Season 14 they've also made changes to shaders which are now permanent unlocks, meaning that you'll no longer need to hold on to stacks of shaders in your inventory. Now when Season 14 kicks off, every Guardian will be provided with a starting supply of synthesis materials as as a reward for completing the seasonal onboard quest. So be sure to make the most of the gift at the beginning of Season 14 to get those universal ornaments you've always wanted. Now, over the last few seasons, we've seen massive character development in the Crow and a key role up front and centre for Commander Zavala. But with that all being said, Ikora Rey hasn't had a key role to play in Destiny since the launch of Shadowkeep. Now, Bungie are well aware of this, and not only will we see Ikora again in Season 14, she will have a pivotal role in the expansion The Witch Queen coming in 2022. What we don't quite know yet is what part she will play next season. Will she use her knowledge of creating a Vex portal and Osiris' Sundial technology to reconfigure a Vex portal, taking us back to Venus to the Vault of Glass next season? At this point, anything is possible, but be sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, with the launch of Season 13, we saw the introduction of gilded titles. This is where you complete all the trials for a specific seal, which will unlock additional requirements, and upon completing those, offer you a gilded version of that title. Now, in Season 14, Phase 2 of gilded titles will begin to roll out, and when players gild a title now, it will also display how many times that title has been gilded in the past. So if you want to gild your Flawless, Dredgen, or Unbroken titles going into Season 14, and see that sweet Phase 2 icon next to your name, be sure to make the most of the next couple of weeks and months to get your hands on your first gilded title this season. And finally, in Season 14, we will continue to see PvP adjustments for Stasis. Now, Bungie have recently announced some changes coming to PvP for Stasis in Season 13, and this will continue to be the case in Season 14 with further adjustments in the pipeline. Now, in terms of some of the changes that we can expect to see over the next couple of weeks and months are with the Behemoth Titan, where they decrease the super damage reduction, increase super energy cost when performing light attacks, as well as removing the freeze area of effect on the super cast. And for the Revenant Hunter, they'll be decreasing the Withering Blade damage and tracking, decreasing the slow stacks applied to targets, as well as removing Shatter Dive damage reduction. And then for the Shadebinder Warlock, they're going to be fixing a bug where Ice Flare bolts wouldn't track towards targets immediately on creation, as well as fixing a bug where Shadebinder super projectiles were not tracking until a certain distance had been travelled. And across all three classes, they'll be decreasing the Crystal Shatter damage too. Now, these are just a handful of changes coming to all three classes in the very near future. And for Season 15, Bungie will also be looking at universal adjustments to Stasis by increasing damage reduction when frozen to provide more survivability to the victim. So if you're getting fed up getting frozen and coming out with very little health, then some of the up and coming changes may be right up your street. Now, many had hoped that crossplay would be coming to the masses in Season 14. However, this will be rolling out in Season 15. There will be some internal rollouts and alpha testing next season to prepare for the widespread launch later this fall. Now, with crossplay, you'll be able to play with all your friends no matter the platform, and in regards to matchmaking, they won't be matching console and PC players together inside the Crucible, unless PC players specifically invite their console friends to play. Outside PvP, fully expect crossplay to be fully active inside PvE. So there we have it, guys, a good look at everything we know about Season 14 and the up and coming changes and additional pieces of content. As always, guys, be sure to let me know your thoughts on what's coming and what you're most excited for next season. Now, if you have enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a rating down below. That super helps me out here on the channel. Or if you're new here and you want to keep up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 content, and there'll be a lot more over the next couple of weeks and months, be sure to hit subscribe as well. I'm going to jump back into the game as always, guys, but I will catch you all again very soon.